Hi guys, I've decided to do a bit of an unboxing review, and I've decided to do it of the AFV Club Centurion Mark 5.1. It's the Royal Australian Armoured Corps version, as you can see, that saw action in Vietnam. Did pretty well, despite being sent to a country where tank warfare was put on the back burner because they deemed the terrain totally unsuitable. But it did well. The Aussies managed to make it work. Apparently did very well there. I've never built anything by AFV Club, so looking forward to this one. I've heard sort of mixed but good reviews of them. So let's get to it. Bit of a cheat. I've already taken everything out of the box and unwrapped it, just to save on a bit of time. But have a quick look around the box. Usual standard these days. A couple of CAD 3D images, show all your details and some other fancy bits, moving parts like suspension, bit of photo etch, and it shows well, you put your etch bits and the alley barrel are in there. Don't look to be too much photo etching, which looks, it's alright. Nice start rather than going for something with 2 or 3, 4 massive sheets of photo etch and incredibly tiny parts. Nice smart box art. Really like the AFV Club box arts of Churchill's and the other kits I looked at. They're all along the same sort of line. They're really smart. I like them. So, cracked open the box, took all the film off everything, and laid it out here for you to look at. Do a sheet at a time. Start with the instruction book. Usual standard fare. Doesn't matter if it's from Tammy or Dragon or anyone. A bit of bump about how the tank started out, design, and both Oriental, English, don't know if it's Chinese, Thai or Japanese. How she was designed during the Second World War. Aimed as a heavy cruiser tank that could stop an 88mm, needing a Rolls-Royce engine, and tells you how design changed and how the Australians came to use her as effectively their first main battle tank, although she was designated as a universal tank. Hopefully you can see these in enough detail. Start with the suspension. Nothing massively complex. It's individual horseman bogies, 2 wheels per bogie. Movable, the brass springing. Just a nice touch. Easy to work in dioramas, and pretty visible as well, so it's worth making a good job. Not like on Dragon's T28 where you've got basically 2 pairs of tracks to make, an inside and an outside, and you can't see any of it. So it's 3/4 of the build is a waste of time, but this instructions do seem pretty simple. Pretty clear, pretty honest. I haven't had a chance to have a good look through them, but just a quick glance, and they do look, really simple. Kit doesn't look overly complex just from the instructions. Turret, I finished that with the meshing for the stowage cages behind. Even with building the turret details, and it doesn't look complicated at all. And your colours, just it's a Centurion. It comes in one colour, olive. Yep, 4 versions, all olive. And then there's parts list there. And you often see this AFV Club part replacements. Missing a sprue, missing or broken, and there's your list. That's nice. A bit of a different, rather than chasing up an importer and saying, "Please help me, I'm missing half my bits." There's your list of all your sprues and stuff. I hope the rest of the tank goes together as well as the instructions look, because they don't look too complicated at all. I'm looking forward to building this. Start with the hull bag. The whole bag came, excuse me, knocking that over, throwing you on the floor. The whole bag came with standard vinyl one-piece tracks, which are more than good enough for a tank that has return rollers. As you don't need to model sag into these at all, as long as you don't have too much trouble weathering them, any difficulty connecting them, they're just fine. The detail's fine on them as well. There's not loads of detail to go into them anyway, but they look fine. Small pack of spare track links can go on the turret of the hull, and they're just as detailed as vinyls. 4 of them, not loads. Now, in with the hull came the 2 turret halves of the cast turret. They should be on a sprue, but they've obviously been clipped off and placed in a bag with the hull. Original turret on this thing, the raw casting, was 8¼ tons, which, having worked in foundries, it's not monstrously big, but that's a fair old lump of metal there. It'll also contain bottom section and the top section of the turret. I've never made a 4-piece turret before. I've had 3-piece, left and a right and a bottom, but never one that's had a separate top. So when it comes to joining it, hiding this joint, hopefully it's in the right spot and it won't be too visible. But with a cast turret, that line could be a bit difficult to mask over, unless you use a Mr. Surfacer or something like that, or get lucky with a really nice smooth joint. But the pins, locating pins, are very small, but hopefully it'll go together alright. The hull, pretty much standard tub these days. It's very rare you get a left, a right and a bottom. Lower glacis attached, and the lower rear glacis attached. A little bit of lower hull detail, very little. Not a lot to go on there, but it's still got the weld lines on. Weld or the laser, well, there'll be the flame cut marks from cutting the massive sheets of rolled steel. With the reinforcing ribs in the base, it does feel really sturdy. Does that for just a straight tub? Going by a lot of the tubs like the Panther and the Tiger and stuff from other companies, it does feel that really sturdy. See the ejector marks? They're not important in the bottom of the hull, but for quite wide ejector marks, they are very flat. They don't protrude. They're not very deep. So hopefully that follows on through the rest of the kit. See the locator marks for all the horseman bogies, return rollers. Excuse my really oily fingers on this. I'll have to give it a wash over before we start. Yep, that's the whole bag. Get this out of the way. Now, as far as I'm aware, the sprues they're all olive green, standard for what would be an olive green vehicle. Doesn't matter whether it seems to be Tamiya or Dragon or anyone else, Sherman, Centurion, whatever you make, it'll be green. Just the space where I was on about the possibly turrets come from, connects with the other two. So mostly turret components, all the storage boxes, the roof, the base, machine gun, hatches, mantlet. Now, the top of the turret, there's a lot of detail already on there that other companies would turn into another dozen pieces. But it does look like the join is going to be round the casting, not at a point where a casting joint would be, so it's going to need some hiding. External wiring details a bit rudimentary, but if you want to rub it off and put a separate wire on, you can, but it looks smart enough as it is. See the separate welded steel plate to the top of the casting. All the details really nice, all parts numbered up, but I don't think the sprues are numbered. you know, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. I think they're marked up in the instruction book, but not here. Right. So the next one. This one contains some of the whole panels, spare wheels. These will be the exterior wheel with the hub that was attached to the suspension, so you can show a dismounted wheel with the bolt holes in. As you saw on the front box art, it has the retainers coming over each side. That'll be a separate part. I expect the complete wheels will be more solid than this that show the hub already bolted to it as a single piece. You have a mantlet. These are all whole parts, and your stowage cage. Very fine detail, very little flash. Plenty of name's gone. Your locators for taking up shrinkage. On these, there appears to be very little shrinkage in them. Because when I did the Dragon T28, there were a lot of these on it to aid with shrinkage, but they had shrink marks in them, so they've done the job. Whereas these don't have any. No, good thing, not bad thing, but they obviously don't suffer with shrinkage on this kit. But we'll see how it goes when it goes together. This one is the main turret ring, all your engine decks, and the rest of your hull parts, upper hull parts such as your storage boxes, gun travel lock, your sort of bits and pieces, your shovels, other tools, axe handles, sledgehammers. Again, everything looks really well detailed. Massive ejector pin marks on the back of that engine deck. There's a lot of them. They're big, but they're in places where, unless you were to go the whole hog and put an engine in and have it exposed, you're not going to see these. That's obviously how keen they were to get that sheet out flat. As you can see, where the 4 connectors are there holding it, and where there's no connectors there, put the ejector pin marks, or the ejector pins there to try and keep it coming out straight. They have their purposes, not just there to annoy us when we build and get in the way, although a lot of companies could do with paying more attention to where they put their ejector pins. As you can see on these, they are much smaller, much finer. Getting detail, engine and stuff already mounted. Again, I know the kits where all these hinges and hatches would be all extra pieces. On to the next one. This one was the wheel bag. First one with where the screws double up, left and right. It's a whole bogie. Again, like I said, the hub already mounted onto all these wheels, so it shows it's complete wheel rather than the spare outer wheel that you get on the front of the hull. The Horseman bogie mounts front and rear, and all returns, the internals, drive and idler wheel, and your return roller mounts. Again, all really simple, nicely detailed. Don't think there's anything to complain about there. It's a first really fine piece come across, part of the tension rod or a tie rod for the bogies. Just be careful getting them off, but again, really smart, really nice, neat, plenty of reserve for shrinkage, but again, none of the shrinkage in them. And then doubles up, usual fare as well for mounting them, usual rubber rings to go inside them, and the brass springs are really substantial, they're quite chunky, they're really nice. Almost a shame to hide some of this behind the wheels. Really nice to model one of these as with an exposed bogey, although not loads of detail, well, not overly complex, but nice detail to them. I'm looking forward to building these. The last main sprue, is your track guards, side skirts, final drive, front mud guards, light covers, a few other bits and pieces. Again, I don't think there's any pin marks or mould lines in anywhere that will bother you. I'm noticing that their connector pins are very small, so you can be careful mounting them up. Try not to cut them off, knock them off. Make sure they're lined up, they won't be a problem, but they're just not as big as what I'm used to seeing from other manufacturers. Okay, nice bit of cast detail on the final drive. You don't have to worry about scale thickness for the side skirts. There. Separate rubber road wheels as well. These get cut out. I never know what to think about rubber road wheels. If they're nice, they don't need painting. Dust them up, weather them up. Nice road wheels look good unpainted. But poor ones, if this was a poor example, they don't have a plastic alternative. So you just put with them and getting paint on them, depending on the manufacturer and what mould release they've used and just the type of rubber. A pain in the backside getting paint to stick to them. But these, they look really nice. I think they'll just do with weathering up. It's nice when you get good ones or separate ones, even if they're plastic, when they're separate. So you can paint the wheels and the tyres separately if you have to paint them when they're plastic, and join them afterwards. It saves a lot of masking, saves a lot of pain, getting a nice neat line, or having to hide your mistakes from masses of mud, dust and weathering and oils later. But it'll be nice, they look good, they'll just need a bit of dust, a bit of mud on them. Now I've got the clear sheet, one small one for all your viewports. Nice to have one ring for commander's cupola. Nice and close, you can see, hopefully it stays focused. So you just drop one in rather than having to drop 6, 7 or 8 in depending on what vehicle you're doing. Nice big ones for the searchlight and all your other housings, plenty of them, binoculars, and you have drive lights. Nice and clear, came at the back scratch free, everything in place. Other than my grubby fingerprints again. All that'll need behind it is some foil, or some alclad, or whatever you prefer to use, just to get a really nice silver finish behind that massive spotlight. That'll be a really nice focus point on the front of the tank. Tell a lie, we do have one more green plastic. It's one that doubles up again. So bits and pieces, towing eyes, hooks, and the tow cables, possibly part of the exhaust, heat sinks, fire extinguisher, Yeah, all your tow hooks and stuff. All your small stuff, all your smaller stuff. See if we can get in with this without it going out of focus. Now onto the very last bag. We have the photo etch, decals, tow rope and mesh, and the barrels. I'm trying to get too many grubby fingerprints on. Yeah, let's try and keep it nice and neat. Yeah, and just 6 pieces. Don't know if it's all necessary, but yeah, it's nice, it's sharp, it's clean. The mesh, again, good quality, nice flexible. Hopefully it'll glue up quite nice. You can only just see it. Nylon for the tow rope. Decals, bare minimum for the Aussies. No messing around with loads of fancy stuff. Printed in Taiwan. Probably the first set that I've used that isn't cartograph from Italy. Now, that's the last 2 pieces. This is your Biza coaxial barrel. If I can even focus in on that. It's tiny and it is machined out. I've lost this once already. Very small. A nice touch. And your barrel. All it's missing is the bore evacuator in the centre, which is a plastic piece. And if you can make that out. But that is rifled. Nice detail. And that is it. Hope it's some use to you. I'll wrap up. Just say thanks for watching, and hopefully I might put a time-lapse video of the build-up if I can get my camera working on time-lapse. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.